Hello again everybody, and a very warm welcome back. Today we're back in Brazil and Brasilia Airport on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's been almost 2 months I think actually, but we are back in the Aerosoft CRJ700 and we've freshly installed the new Latin VFR South America RX custom vehicle pack for the airport environment as well, along with their Jetway Pro add-on, giving us some non-default glass jetways too. We are taking part in the FlyUK Scenic South America tour. This is our last leg for today. Here's a couple more of the ground vehicles here that you can see. And so far I can see Philip just off over here. So I'm going to head over here because there is a van that I want to show you, part of the Latin VFR's RX custom ground vehicle pack for South America.
Good morning, Brasilia Center. Can you give me your position?
Not sure if anybody else is joining us today. If you are, say hello in the live chats and let us know that you're flying along. There we go, look at that. Custom ground vehicles. Not sure if we've got any others. Anyway, can't see any more.
1817 Papa, you're just outside my
default scenery here, sadly, at Brasilia, but in Salvador we've downloaded some new scenery on flightsim.to for that. So a bit of freeware scenery to end the tour with, which would be quite nice. Salvador being on the coast as well. FlyUK.aero, as it says on the side there, if you guys want to join a virtual airline. You've got to do one flight a month. With a full-time job and everything else, I've got to say I am struggling with that at the moment. But it's great to be part of the VA. They've got a cracking crystal livery as well. Look how good that looks. Here we are, my favourite aircraft in the sim at the moment. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe down below. Philip, hello again. Hope you're well. Really good, thanks. Hope you're good. And hopefully you can hear that my voice has started to clear up a little bit more as well. Eve, greetings to you in Grenada. Wow, watching from the North Miami, Florida. Well, very welcome aboard to you. Good morning to you. Mikael, hello to you. David A, good morning as well. Some channel members. Oscar, hola to you, and Jay, good afternoon. Thanks to Marcelo. He is our Brasilia Center controller today. So really nice of him to connect and give us a bit of ATC as well. Our route today, folks, if I show you guys Navigraph, there we are. We start at Brasilia. We're expecting, this may change, depends if the controller gives us anything different. We're expecting the Nadez 1 Alpha RNAV departure, so take off from runway 29 left. At or above 4,200 feet, we're then going to commence a left turn down to Gaxon. Then left turn again, 108 degrees to Bravo Romeo 052, climbing to at or above flight level 110 there. Gaxon at or below flight level 100, for a constraint. And then at Nedez, we're going to break off towards Siga and then SELDI. There's SELDI on the map, just there in the centre of the map screen. From there, we're going to join the Uniform Zulu 19 airway. The route is in the live chat as well, it's pinned, I believe. If not, I will do that shortly. Forgot to pin it, obviously. All the way to LUTVA, which is just where that little pinpoint is there. From LUTVA, we're going to commence our approach into Salvador there on the coast. Our arrival into Salvador today in about an hour and 30 flight time. It's the Asuga 1 Alpha potentially. And we can have a little look at that when we get a bit closer. So there's LUTVA on the left of the charts, over the terrain, descending down to Pabog, up to Asuga above flight level 90. Sierra Victor 003, and then almost straight in then to Gevmo at an altitude between 4,000 to 5,000 feet. And you can see there, LUTVA maintain course 103 to Pabog, left course 062 to Asuga. There we are. Depends what approach we have, but we could have the ILS for runway 10. It could be an RNAV, although the CRJ does struggle with that sometimes. because some of them it can't do in real life. Can't remember if it does a GNSS. Or we've got runway 28 ILS as well. Awesome visual approaches. Not sure how that works with us being a Category C aircraft though. Might be a bit tricky. Perhaps a bit too tight, who knows. Looks cool though. Some fantastic scenery by the looks of it from the screenshots on flightsim.to. Inspired, good afternoon, aviation simulation, the country El Salvador, Salvador in Brazil. Salvador in Brazil, Sierra Bravo, Sierra Victor. Don't forget Skytrack, indeed, yes. So in we go, and we've got a QNH of 1013, and we've started off with aligning the IRS, the 2 dials down there. We need to go channel 1, channel 2, engage max trim, yaw damper 1, yaw damper 2. Those memos have disappeared there. Recirc fans off, let's turn that on, that is there. Trying to remember all of the different things inside the CRJ here today. So, QNH 1017, we've got that set there on the PFD and also in the standby instruments. We've started with aligning the IRS, we're at gate 16, although actually in real life we're at gate 19 with the actual charts. DCMO, hello to you. We've added in our route, SBBR to SBSV, alternate of SBMO, and we're looking to depart runway 29 left. Nedo 1 Alpha, and there we go with our flight number just there. Skyways 4944 today, which is the FlyUK's call sign, Skyways, and 4944 is my call sign. Chris Patton, good afternoon, or good morning actually if you're over the pond. And that is the route. Don't need to worry about sim brief imports or anything like that. A lot of the CRJ routes are quite short like this in real life, so really good. Ismail Norris, thank you very much, hope you're well. And we can look at putting in the arrival into LUTVA once we get our clearance confirmed for the departure, because I don't tend to like to fiddle around too much with it. But if needs must, we can then kick in and do that a little bit later on. I think we're going to be expecting the ILS 10, ILS Zulu runway 10, SBSV for the METAR. We haven't got a METAR, but Salvador, interestingly. But we're looking at that anyway. Departures, runway 29 selected, Nedo 1 Alpha selected. If we click it again, we can go to this splash screen and then enter the arrivals. And I think I mentioned ILS Zulu, didn't I? ILS 10 Zulu, which is that one there, the 4th button down on the right, and the Asuga 1 Alpha. And I think it's via Gevmo, isn't it? LUTVA, Pabog, Asuga, Gevmo. Yeah, there we go, Gevmo it is. Be quite an interesting little approach actually, because it looks like it brings us in ever so slightly south, and then we sort of turn in over the coast and then land fairly quickly after, shortly after. In the radio page, we've got 13400, we've tuned that down here, that is Brasilia Centre, and a flight ID, this little extra page we can add in like so. Performance page, flex of 46, and the VNAV is all set up. Departure transition to 7000. I've put 8000 in for the descent and arrival as well. What else? VNAV, perf in it. There we go. Cruiser flight level 370, and there's all of our weights and our fuel. Over here, we can close the aircraft door. We're going to go flaps 8, dry runway, and we need to set the V speeds. Wrong button, that's that one. We've got...
Captain, the cabin is secure.
Wonderful.
All passengers are aboard.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's
on
turn that
behalf of
off.
the captain and crew, welcome aboard this flight.
And we can get rid of the ground power and the ground air
Before
car.
takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our cabin crew display the safety features
Got some
of
cabin
this
lights
flight.
on for the punters. And we've got all of the lights set as we need as well.
Brasilia Centre, Skyways 5563, request push and start.
Let's get our clearance.
Skyways 5563, can you just confirm your position for me? I see you between 31 and 32.
Information Delta. The departure Brasilia, surface winds 250 degrees, 3 knots, variable between 200 and 340 degrees. Visibility 10 kilometers or more.
31.
Clouds broken 3,000 feet, few, towering cumulonimbus 4,000 feet, temperature plus 26 degrees Celsius, and a dew point of plus 19er. QNH 1017.
Stay facing south on to Lima 7, position 30.
Here we go.
Clear push and start facing south on position 30.
If you're looking for stuff to do tomorrow, we are going to be ground controller for 2 hours from 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. Brasilia Centre, good morning to you. Skyways 4944 is a CRJ700 on stand 19er. Information Delta on board, request IFR clearance to Salvador please.
Skyways 4944, I have your clearance ready for ready to copy.
Hey firms, Skyways 4944.
Skyways 4944, clear for clear out for to Salvador Airport, Sierra Bravo, Sierra Victor, flight level 370 is filed. Departure runway 29er left via the Nades 1 Alpha departure, SELDI transition, squawk 4005.
Cleared. Cleared to Salvador by the Nades 1 Alpha departure, SELDI transition, runway 29er left, and as filed for flight level 370. Just go again with the squawk please, Skyways 4944.
Skyways 4944, squawk 4005.
Thank you, and squawk 4005, Skyways 4944.
Skyways 4944, readback is correct. Report very proof for pushback and startup.
Alright, okay. 4005 set. There we go.
Skyways 5563, apologies, your last transmission was on delayed with our pilot. Do you have any problem?
Negative, I was just reading back. It's pushing back.
I think that's looking good.
Position 30 on Romeo.
Where is?
Skyways 5563.
No problem, 5563.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. I want that down again for a little bit, because I've got a habit of clicking the wrong thing on departure, as we all know from Munich months and months ago. There we go. Runway heading is 288 degrees. Gonna bring that round now.
And Brasilia Center, goal 1924, looking for IFR to Salvador with
Who's goal?
Delta.
Wonder if we've got them on
Go
FSLTR model matching or something.
Clearance ready for copy.
Hey, there we go. There's an FSLTR model, guys. I downloaded a load of new ones today from the little update, internal update that they've got.
1924, cleared
How good does
IFR
that
to
look?
Salvador Airport, Sierra Bravo, Sierra Victor.
As Mikael, I think.
F filed. Flight level 350. Departure
Fantastic.
runway
I think it's time to get rid of our chocks.
Via the Nades 1 Alpha departure, SELDI transition, squawk 4052.
Aircraft options and chocks in place there removed. Doors closed, forward cargo's doors closed, service doors closed, aft cargo's closed. There, maroon to grayed out now as well, cabin lights are set.
350.
We can work through the checklists if we want to as well, but I'm trying to remember
The Nades
everything
1 Alpha departure. SELDI
off the top of my head.
Squawking 4052, goal
Approach.
1924.
Airport elevation of 63.
1924, readback is correct.
246.
Report ready for pushback and startup.
Boost pumps on. A pushback. Brasilia Centre, Skyways 4944 at Brasilia. Fully ready, request push and start. David, hello! No, not yet. I'm kind of pushing them actually to try and
Skyways 4944. Push and clear for push and start. Facing north. Report ready for taxi.
push start approved, facing north, and report ready for taxi. Skyways 4944. That's the Salvador charts. they look quite cool actually. I've accidentally clicked on those, but they actually look quite good. So I'm looking forward to flying into Salvador.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
There goes that nose. Up it goes.
Standing by for pushback.
Very cool. Should probably put the beacon lights on. We've got to get the drop down again for pushback. Reverse.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Kick in continuous
Cleared for
ignition.
starting push.
APU's
Parking
available.
brake set.
And boost pumps are on.
Okay,
They've been on for a
cleared
couple of
for
minutes to
push start.
stabilise those.
Please release parking brake.
I'll break
Parking
off.
brakes are released.
Commencing pushback.
Ah, Mikhail, not you.
Start the
Ah,
engines
okay,
in
no worries.
sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Nick, hello. Okay. Reflight taxi and right engine start. There goes the packs. We're going to push back there so that we can taxi up here. Ooh. Oh man. Woo! I'm not gonna lie. I might have just cacked myself. Wow. I feel like this is going to test me today.
Request taxi.
Yes, Flex does work on the CRJ for me. In fact, it's on standby there, look, in pink.
Kilo.
You've got to set it before you push back.
Holding point Zulu, runway 29er left, QNH 1017.
Taxi via Romeo Lima 8, Kilo Uniform, holding point Zulu for 29 left, QNH 1017.
Wow, that got a bit slippy, didn't it? There goes the first bing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display the safety features and procedures of the aircraft in case of an emergency. During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your
Left
seatbelts
engine start.
fastened and your seats in the upright position. In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing masks will drop from the ceiling.
And we can stop pushback there, I think.
Pushback completed. Please set your parking
If there is
brake.
smoke in the cabin during the
Set.
evacuation
Brake
of the
set.
aircraft, the walkway
Parking brake
emergency
set.
lights will
Lowering
display.
aircraft.
Center goal 1924, ready for push.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect.
Go 1924, clear for push and start, facing east. Onto
Literally my
Lima
favourite
5.
aeroplane in the sim at the moment.
Electronic devices. We thank you for paying
Click.
attention during this brief
Cleared to push facing east onto Lima 5, goal 1924.
There's a couple more of the Latin VFR vehicles. Little Jeep, the bus as well, that's probably going to drive straight through us. Oh no, Cobus has gone the other way. And then obviously the Donata tug. Well. Yeah, Mikhail, very true. You're flying from Birmingham as well, aren't you? Actually, I think quite exciting. Up go the engines. There goes the ding.
Center goal 1924. Can you confirm Lima 5 and not Lima 6?
Okay, we can go nose wheel steering armed.
Apologies, go 1924, that is Lima 6.
Alright, thank you, Lima 6.
Set as we need. Guys, 4944 request taxi. Give me charts, so apron 1.
4944, taxi via Lima 4, Kilo Uniform to holding point Zulu, runway 29er left, QNH 1017.
Taxi Lima 4, Kilo Uniform, and Zulu, hold point Zulu, runway 29 left. QNH 1017, Skyway 4944. Ross, yeah, it does. It takes a bit more getting used to, doesn't it? But that is because, you know what I have forgotten? Takeoff trim 6.6. And it's froze again. There we go. 6.6, make sure you set that. Bit too far. There we go. Lovely. Bar brakes on, and we need to pop the windshield heats onto arm. Onto low rather, and we can turn the APU off as well. Bit of power. That's the brakes, and away we go. Want flaps 8. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's the lovely flap animations and light control surfaces as well. I do love the animations of this. Performance-wise, V1 of 132, rotate 132, 132 as well, and V2 plus 10 at 150. Probably put that on, and we can turn continuous ignition off and close the SBSV valve. There we go. And we got takeoff config OK in green there on the CDU. Eventually that little APU SBSV valve will close. That is that little valve there, just below the tail. It's got a wonderful animation on it as well if you ever see it close. Lima 4 onto kilo. Always the tip, make sure you do not have that page selected whilst you're flying. Although they have updated it to grey it out to protect it, or even this one, you can click something by accident and change the layout, the config, and the values of the vehicle, the aircraft, weight balance, and all that sort of stuff. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock UK time, we're going to be at Birmingham Airport with a tower view, and we're going to be staffing Birmingham Airport up, Echo Golf Bravo Bravo, 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock noon, and we're basically going to be seeing off all the departures as part of the Mackinac event. But even if you're not taking part in that, then do let us know, and fly anyway. If you are taking part in the Mackinac event, be sure to check out tomorrow's live stream, and there's a link there that will take you to the MacoSim website with a form that you fill out.
Taxi via Lima 6 Kilo, uniform holding point Zulu, runway 29er left.
I don't think I've forgotten anything here at the top. We need to do manual crossflow override for departure.
Alright, taxi
I'll do that now because I will forget.
Kilo, uniform hold point Zulu.
Everything else is set.
CRJ.
All we need is strobes. Daniel, hello.
5563.
We're looking at
250 at 5, QNH 1017.
probably about.
Left, cleared for takeoff.
It is still open. I'm going to click it again and see what happens.
Left, clear for takeoff. Skyway 5563.
Ah, there it goes. Lovely. 1 hour 30 flight time. Little hot spot on the charts here. We've got Philip lining up to depart just over there. Gabriel, hello to you. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're well. Default scenery for departure, but we've got some fantastic Salvador scenery when we get there. Available on flightsim.to. Oh, Ross, that's strange. As I said, I've not flown this for about 2 months, so got to knock a little bit of rust off. But it is my favourite aircraft in the sim. No auto throttle, and you've got to stay well ahead of it. Let's go on the thrust reversers. That's on, that's selected, we are ready to depart anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff.
There's Philip, also in the wonderful CRJ. And who's flying along in the Gull? Come and say hello. It's always nice to have people fly along. Going up for this. Let's see. Ah, bread. Hello. There we go. Wrong button. Fat fingers. Skyway's 4944's at Zulu, ready for departure.
Skyway's 4944, line up and wait, 29 left.
Line up and wait, 29 left, Skyway's 4944. There's Philip. Up he goes.
Skyway 5563 is airborne, passing 4,900.
Skyway 5563, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 310.
Climb maintain flight level 310, Skyway 5563.
Skyway 5563, proceed direct, SELDI.
Direct SELDI, Skyway 5563.
Go. Lovely stuff. I'll brake on. Ready for that. Looking good. I've missed flying this. 2 minutes or so separation, similar route. So we'll be on the runway for just a few seconds longer. Don't forget to give the live stream today a little thumbs up, a little like if you are enjoying it. If you've got questions about the CRJ or anything else, then do ask in the chat, and some of us can try and help. Let's click toga now. Let's get that armed. Toga. Take off, and the flight director's updated as well to show our attitude. I'm looking forward to taking some good pictures at Brasilia.
4944, runway
Salvador.
29 left, wind 250 at 5, QNH 1017, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 29 left, Skyway's 4944. Little bit of power. MPS Gaming, good afternoon. Brakes off. Toga. Somebody mentioned about flex not being respected here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, straight through. $80 knots.
Go 1924, line up and wait, 29 left.
Line up and wait, 29 left, going 1924.
B1, rotate. Probably up if I turn the landing lights on, wouldn't it? Gear up. And we're going to try and match that flight director. We can arm nav, speed, autopilot engage. Off it goes, and we can drop the throttle into the climb gate. Like so. And it's froze. Oh, we're back. I tell you what, I'm gonna have a heart attack today. Skyway's 4944's airborne, 5,500 feet.
Skyway's 4944, climb departure to flight level 370.
Climb with the departure to flight level 370, Skyway's 4944. Let's go up to T. So on the departure, Gaxon, you have to be at or below flight level 100. So we're going to be climbing through that anyway. We can go to standard pressure and standard pressure there. And as we accelerate up to T, we're going to have a little look at where are we? Headers 1 Alpha. There's no speed constraints for us. So let's whack up to about 225. We can continue climbing up through our flap speeds. There we are. What other views do we have? I've forgotten how many views we've got. I want some juicy one of the flaps. There we go, look at that. And we get the flaps up now. Nick, it's Skytrack for FlyUK because we're flying the we're tracking the flight today with Skytrack. I wonder if that's maybe the cause of the little stutters that I'm getting today. There's Brasilia, off down in the distance. At least I've got the landing lights on now. And we're going to have to watch it like a hawk because I've not flown this for a while.
1924, runway 29 left, wind 250 at 5, QNH 107, clear for takeoff.
29 left, clear for takeoff, goal 1924.
Let's go to a 290 for climb up, shall we? Passing Gaxon, we can bust through the 10,000 now. Let's zoom out a little bit, and away we go. It's a fantastic part of the world to fly around in. If you've not explored it yet, then I can really recommend it. There's been some beautiful scenery actually as we've flown around South America. And you don't need to be a part of a virtual airline to do this. But what it does do is it gives you the sort of structure and some of the routes for you, so you don't have to go and dig around and try and work it out yourself. Once you start the tour, there's different legs within the tour and you can just work through them, exploring some stunning parts of Microsoft Flight Simulator and the world around it. I mean, look at that. Tomorrow is going to be the first time in about 3 months that I've done any VATSIM ATC controlling. That is going to be probably quite chaotic. I am not that great, as I'm sure some of you would disagree with that comment, but yeah, I'm not the best controller. I don't have the time to do it very regularly, which is where we get the problem. There we go. MSFS looking fine as always.
1924, radar contact, climb via the Natives 1 Alpha departure to flight level 110 for now.
Alright, climb via Natives 1 to 110 for goal 1924.
Aerosoft is still working on their CRJ700 and 1000 for MSFS. Been a little bit longer than we would have liked, I think. I think we're anticipating or expecting a release probably a lot quicker, but Sim Update 5 obviously tore up the rulebooks and caused most of the developers a significant headache. There we go, climb VNAV speeds, target of 290, and that's what we've selected there. Obviously Mach Decimal 74 on conversion. And then in the VNAV there it's saying target speed for cruise 300 knots or Mach Decimal 74. We can change that. So if we want to change that to Mach Decimal 80, we can do that. All we've got to do is just type in a new one. Stuart, hello, welcome. Finishing your first VATSIM flight, Edinburgh to Newquay in the CJ4. The stream's a nice surprise, great to hear. Picked a wrong day to do it, but it all went fine thanks to your expert guidance. It's great to hear. You'll be hooked on VATSIM for life now. Is the CRJ your favourite aircraft? Or is it the one that you feel like you've mastered the most so far? this is mine for now. I'm sure PMDG will change my mind when they release the 737NG. Partial joystick, Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS X full flight kit is what we've got equipment-wise. Really affordable actually, to be honest. 120 quid I think it was for the entire pack, including rudder pedals. You don't have to spend a fortune. Simming is expensive enough as it is. Now, where was that? There we go, doctor aboard. SBSV, METAR for Salvador. From about 40 minutes ago. Winds are 010 at 12 knots, all the nines. Vicinity showers, broken at 2000. View clouds, 2300 towering cumulonimbus, broken at 6000. 25 degrees Celsius for temperature, and the dew point 22 degrees Celsius, and the QNH of 1022. What I should probably do is look through, there we go, for any discontinuities like that, but we've dealt with that, and now we get a top of descent that's accurate as well. Top Flies, hello, welcome. Resync the heading bug. Stuart, yeah, you'll pick it up in no time, I'm sure. The A320 is a very easy aeroplane. Once you get used to it, you know what we need to do, manual cross flow off as well, and disarm the thrust reversers. I knew there was a few other steps that I needed to do. The departure, I think that's all of it. So this aircraft, for those of you who don't know, the CRJ is much more of a thinking pilot's aeroplane. It requires a lot more forward thinking and forethought when you're actually using it, and it can catch you out very quickly if you aren't paying enough attention, basically, whether that be through icing or speed management or whatever else. This doesn't have an auto throttle, so when we're in the when we're basically climbing, as we are at the moment, we can put it into speed mode, as we have done so. So we go nav first, then speed on departure, then autopilot on, and it will fly our nav route as we've asked it to do, as we've programmed it to do. And speed mode will hold the speed that we've selected, providing the throttle is in the climb gate, which is here, and that's the basically the FADEC sorting it all out for us. That is the only time speed is managed by the aeroplane for us. So when we get closer to flight level 370, yeah, good point, Lara. Yep. Yeah, we've got rudder pedals as well. The T-Flight full HOTAS pedals. Took me about 6 months to get them set up as well.
Go 1924, clear direct to Siger.
When we get to
350.
this banana here, showing us sort of our top of climb, what we should get is a altitude C chord, and we'll see the FMS up here, we'll see the PFD, sorry, some of the enunciators at the very top here change. We'll get the alt capture, and then this will start to flash, I think, from memory. What I then need to do is bring the throttle out of the climb gate to then set a speed to hold during cruise myself. God, GD, that is insane, isn't it? Scalpers are the biggest problem, really, and people buy it. That's the issue. I might be inclined to get the Thrustmaster Boeing set when that gets delivered, or released rather. That looks really good. The sort of 787 Dreamliner based kit that they've created does look quite nice. Swap just flew across the ditch into any builds Queenstown, set full flaps and slammed it. Nice. You could have always smacked toga and done a touch and go and reset. Stuart, fantastic. Well, you're very welcome to join us tomorrow if you want. We're fully staffing Birmingham Airport from 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock noon UK time. So we're going to have Birmingham clearance delivery, myself on Birmingham ground for all the taxi instructions and the push and start clearance. We've got Birmingham Tower online and Birmingham radar as well, which is going to be quite cool. We're going to have a load of people flying off to Mykonos that we're going to see off at part of the Mykonos competition that they're running, Mako Simulations and Contrail. And anybody else that wants to fly out of Birmingham or to Birmingham whilst we are staffing the airport upon the VATSIM network. We all know as well, whenever we do it, it's sort of pre-agreed that we expect quite a lot of new people on VATSIM. So there's no stress, there's no pressure. I'm going to make a ton of mistakes tomorrow because I've not controlled in 3 months, 2 months. July, I think our last controller session was. I can't remember. Or was it the start of September? It's all a blur. Ah, fair enough, Stuart. There will always be another time. I'm hoping to do Bristol soon as well. I keep meaning and promising to do the Pilot Plus Bristol and staff that up as well. Great little airport. Ed, good morning to you. Lair, wow, pre-ordered the Bravo, Honeycomb Bravo in summer 2020, and you got it in April this year. Is it good? What are your thoughts on it? Love this cloud building in down below. The live weather's fantastic in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Looks like we've got that annoying bug again, where the aeroplane's just decided to not climb any further. Just see what happens. Just going to try and refresh the throttles a little bit. Drop it to 280. Okay, yeah, well, fingers crossed. Edric, you can always join us tomorrow if you want, even if it's like a Birmingham to Edinburgh, something really short. You could give it a go. I don't even know what SPAD is. I've got to have potentially missed something up here, which is why it's climbing like a dog. I know it was a thing with Sim Update 5 when they fixed it. People are finding at about flight level 300 or so and above it was struggling. Let's put wing icing on, just see what happens. I don't want to use cowl lights, they're off, so that's not killing the power. And bleeds on auto, both, and normal. Oddly enough, we seem to be climbing a bit better again now. Lazaros, it's absolute trash. Half bank mode's activated as well now. Ah, there, okay, gotcha. Makes sense then. Never used it. Suga 1 Alpha, LUTVA, Pabog, Suga at or above flight level 9 is 0. And then SV003 at or below flight level 9 is 0. But the ILS Zulu runway 10 tells us that we have to be Kibix and then Logav. Was it Gevmo? it's Gevmo, isn't it? Sugar 1 Alpha. Yep, to Gevmo. Fantastic. So, back on Navigraph while we're climbing up, and I'm sort of watching the aeroplane like a hawk. You keep your eye on it. You sort of like cast your eye away for like 2 minutes, and it tries to kill you. So, yeah, it does require a lot of extra planning and careful clicking around and thinking. LUTVA 103, 102 miles from LUTVA all the way to Habog. Wow. And then a Sugar Attenborough flight level 90, SV003, and then Gevmo. From Gevmo on the Navigraph charts, we're going to want to connect onto the ILS Zulu from Gevmo there. So it's actually quite a short approach with a sort of like a turn onto the ILS. And LOGAV is at 11 miles from the threshold. And actually, by the looks of it, our approach will take us over the north-south runway, so it's going to be potentially quite a cool looking approach. I'm really looking forward to this. You can see at LOGAV we have to be 2,500 feet, and then DIBOD for the glide slope at 1,700. Glide slope of 3 degrees there, you can see on the charts. And there's our feet per minute converted from the ground speed, and our decision height of 231 feet barrow. And a missed approach. Climb to 4,000, maintain 102 degrees until passing 1,000, then turn right direct to Gevmo for holding. Though we're not anticipating to have to do that today. I always look at the taxi charts. Yeah, this is going to be a cool approach. We're going to be flying straight over 1735 and then touching down on runway 10, and we'll probably vacate about Foxtrot, taxi back on Alpha to the passenger terminal down here. Loads of parking spots. We might nestle it in the middle here. It all depends on our ATC. Not sure if we still have Brasilia radar by that point or not. And there's a VOR there, 116.5 for us as well. Cool. Seems easy enough. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, we don't have one of those, sadly. I'd love an A350 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, though it would have to be study level. Okay, 37,000. It's just beeped at us. Ian, yeah, we'll be ground tomorrow. We should get altitude capture any second, and on the nav display we can see the little green circle right at the top. That's our top descent marker starting to sort of move towards us a little bit. Marcelo, no worries at all. Thank you very much for being Brasilia Control though, or Brasilia Centre. Here we go, any second. You can see here as well, it's kind of like an RNAV bucket if you like, so you can see the magenta target moving down to meet our altitude meter. We should get, we've had the C chord any second now, there we go, ALTS caps. So we're about to hit our target altitude of flight level 370. And that's telling us now that the... Oh, it's froze. Wowzers. What that's telling us is the throttle is ours. As you can see now up here, speed mode has dropped off and we've got alt mode selected instead. Now, our speed is slightly below that of what we want. So, once we level off, I'm actually going to leave the throttle in climb just for a few seconds. Interestingly enough, we appear to have a bit of asymmetric thrust, only a little bit. Engine 2, look, 87.4 N1 against 87.8. And actually, we must be quite heavy today, because our cruise is suggesting that we need 87.9% M1 from both engines. Let's see if that's kicked it in. Yeah, that seems to have done a bit of magic. I'd like to think they're stabilising. No, engine 2's dropping off again. How strange. ITT is pretty much the same. N2's pretty much the same. All temp pressures and vibrations are the same as well. Oh, there we go, look, it's kicked itself back in again. Jolly good. So if we want to slow down, if we don't want to do that target speed, we can drop that back a little bit and we can change the target speed to max 7.8. Or we can go into VNAV, and this is where this calculation refreshes itself. Because we could ask it to do... Let's see. What's the speed? 260 / Mach 80. So we can go 260 / M. Oh, sorry. 260 / 0.80. Then we can add that in up there, and you can see that effectively, if there's any change to our speed requirements, the M1 would change. However, cruise, there we go. And what I've done is I've dropped it out of the climb gate now. So I told the aircraft we're not in climb mode anymore, and it's saying for cruise to maintain 260 or Mach 80, we need 85.3% M1. Still ever so slightly below that though, so I'm going to leave the throttles as they are, the top end of the range, and I'm just going to allow the arrow there to go in towards the centre of the magenta line a little bit before I set the M1. Effectively, if you set it, you can just leave it. From what I remember of this, Stuart, forgot to mention I made use of the scratch pad. I believe you helped Mako Sim develop. A few minor bugs, but it was really useful. Great to hear. I've not used that, I must confess actually, I've not used that for a very long time. I always end up reverting back to my trusty pen and paper. Cythera, hello, really good, thank you, hope you're okay. Let's see what we've got here. Probably turn that rotate up a little bit more. Bit of contrail action. You can purchase the Aerosoft CRJ directly via the Aerosoft website, or also via Contrail as well, the Contrail web shop. They've got a really good app as well. They're good. Are you doing much flying this weekend, or have you got other plans? That's looking quite stable, to be honest. Let's drop the range a bit more. You can see our top of descent coming up in about 320 or so miles. So for the next sort of 20-30 minutes we can just sit back and enjoy the views. Once we pick a view, what have we got here? It's always a good one. A window view.
runway 5563, leaving my airspace, radar service terminated. Coordinate Unicorn 122 that way. Bye bye. Have a nice flight.
Unicorn 122 to flight for runway 5563. Thanks so much for the service. Good day.
We'll have to drop in a couple of thank yous from everybody in the live chat for Marcelo becoming our ground controller here in Brazil this evening, or this morning rather. Jacobs, hello. Is it me, or is the actual Mach speed different than what the speed book says it would be at? Yeah, there is that, and that was a bug introduced in update 6, I think it is. So you're right in saying that it's Mach decimal 8.2 we're pretty much at. Like, it is hard to work out which, I can't remember if it's the top one that's correct or if it's the speed tape here that's correct or what, I'm not sure. I think I remember, actually, now you've mentioned it, because it has been a while, I think I remember this speed target actually being slightly incorrect, which means that we're within our speed profile anyway. I'm probably going to drop back the throttle about 0.5 degrees or so, 0.5%. Maybe a little bit more actually. Holding quite nicely. There you go, 86.5% N1. And we'll just watch the speed for a second. Birdman, hello, welcome. And heyo, good morning from you, Bom dia, from Recife, Brazil. Fantastic. Very warm welcome to you, very good morning. And Paul D, good afternoon. How are you doing? That speed looks like it's dropping ever so slightly. We want that to stabilise. So this is where throttle calibration in the CRJ is vital. There we go. Put in another 0.5% N1. So that's ended up being another 1% N1. And we'll just let everything stabilise and see what happens. As long as the arrow is inside the magenta brackets, either between the top end of the range or the lower end of the range, then I'm happy. Interestingly, our Mach hasn't really changed all that much either. Let's say, you know what, it's suggesting 85.3, isn't it? So let's try and set that exactly if we can. Or as close to as possible. There we go. Oh, it's still going up. .9. Or 85.1. So actually, perhaps this speed target here is a bit botched, and it's going to be in the range here somewhere, isn't it? Hey, Simon, hello. After the throttle fun in the CRJ, always. I think it's just mainly a thing of just trying to get a happy medium between the two, isn't it? Hey, Mach 814, I'm just going to leave it at that, I think. We're pretty much at 85.3 for cruise, so we're just going to leave the throttles there at that figure instead, I think. That'll do. We'll just watch what happens. We'll use the top left reading more than anything else. Airbase simulation, wow. Shorter than I thought then, flight time wise. I thought it was about 5 or so hours. There we go. Have you seen that British Avgeek's become a celebrity on the Microsoft Flight Simulator homepage? I was doing my night shift the other day, and R2B2NZ being in New Zealand, he was awake through the night while I was working through the night, and he spotted on the dev update.
4944, leaving my airspace, coordinate Unicorn 122.8, radio service is terminated, have a nice flight, thank you, bye bye.
Over to Unicorn for Skyways 4944, thank you very much for the ATC, appreciate it, have a good one.
Thank you, bye.
Over we go, and we're on Madness of Unicorn. Yeah, we ended up featured for our Across the Pond stream the other week in the 4th of November development update Microsoft Flight Simulators forum, which was mind-blowingly cool. Thanks to whoever it was that put that there. Apparently we were featured a couple of weeks prior as well with the DC-6 flight into British Weather Antarctica. They put that as a community video on the dev update too, which is really exciting. So it sounds like I've had a couple of little bumps from Microsoft and Asobo themselves, or nods I should say. Really nice to see. So yeah, very much appreciated from me. iFly Sim Pilot, have I updated to Windows 11? No, I haven't actually. Is the sim stable on Windows 11? I'm not sure. I haven't seen anybody using it yet. Don't forget to smash the like button. Check out our memberships if you've not subscribed as well. Then do click that big shiny red button. See Fly Live Studio not working again. Let me refresh the top bar for you guys. SBBR, SBSV, Skyways 4944. Boink. There we go. Oh yeah, will do. Stuart, fingers crossed, but you don't want to jinx it. Always funky music, Birdman. I've had to change my Spotify across, and the way that it was all laid out by Stream Beats has changed. So I've lost all of the playlists that I had previously. There's Low-Key, there's Groove, and I've also got Evergreen ready as well. Once we hit 1st of December, I might start blasting some of the Evergreen style Christmassy playlists. Oh, that down there. Wow. The sim does look fantastic, doesn't it? iFly, sometimes they are. Other times, like today, they don't seem to be that pixelated at all. There doesn't seem to be very much consistency though, and it's difficult to work out what's causing it when they do appear pixelated. If you're going to be flying tomorrow, whilst we're ground control at Birmingham, do let us know in the live chat. Give us a little thumbs up or something to let us know that you're going to be attending. 2 hours of ATC pre-booked at minimum. I think usually we book 2 hours and end up doing 3. but we'll see how it goes. Jason, yeah, we're on VATSIM. There are some pilot notes for tomorrow as well, a bit of a briefing that we put together a while ago. So if you are going to fly tomorrow and you're not quite sure about the SIDS or the stars or anything like that, then do check that out as well. Oh, Simon, big question there. Any news on when the 900 or 1000 versions of the CRJ will be released? Can't be long now. Yeah, you know what, I'm really not sure. I know they're also developing the Twin Otter at the moment, and things have changed and become a bit problematic with some of the sim updates, delaying them quite a bit, but I'd like to think they've got themselves working really hard on it, on the 900 and the 1000 expansion. Birdman's come in, Mikhail's come in, good stuff. It's a bit earlier than usual, but last time we did it we had about 200-300 aircraft fly out of Birmingham, and we were the busiest at on the VATSIM network, which made it quite fun. I'd like to think the CRJ expansion will be released by Christmas. I'd like to think, surely. Okay, that's a bit strange. You should be able to add it in anyway with whatever aircraft you're using inside the FMS or the MCDU. You should be able to pop it in. There's a couple of transitions at Birmingham. In fact, we can go through it. Let's have a quick look. EGBB. So a couple of options, runway 33 or 15 at Birmingham. You've got Ampere, Dollop, Wallasey arrivals and Mallard arrivals from the north. Bisky 1 Bravo from the south west, although that's very rarely used, if at all ever. The main ones coming in from the south across Europe are Emerald 1 Bravo, Silver 1 Bravo. Silver 1 Bravo actually is pretty much used all the time. Going in Silver Yoda, straight in approach via Honolulu VOR there. And then you've got the NDB DME ILS. Like so. But of course you wouldn't do the teardrop procedure unless you're coming in from the north and you get that as part of your transition. You'd probably be vectored around by Birmingham radar, or you'd get that straight in approach via the Silver approach that we just have a little look at. Some key things to note depending on what runway at Birmingham we're going to use tomorrow. I will stack most people at Hull Point Echo 1 for runway 33. But if it starts to get busy and there's a lot of aircraft, what I'll do is I'll use Sierra 1. Because we've got that whole line of sort of extra bit on Sierra that we can use to help queue people up. It's a very tight space around Echo 1 and Echo 2, Echo 3 there. So it can be quite busy. Arrivals as well, we'll bring them in via Alpha. If you spawn on the Elmdon apron at Birmingham tomorrow, which is the south side of the airfield, you will get your clearance as normal through clearance delivery, but then you'll be passed straight to tower because Birmingham ground, which is the call sign I'll be using, does not have any authority down here. That's not for me to control. So everything to the right hand side of the runway, the north of the runway, is my stuff for ground. Anything below that goes straight to tower for delivery. If we're using 1.5 tomorrow, then taxi's going to go all the way down Alpha, and then holding at Alpha 1 or Alpha 2. If the weather's really bad, it'll be Alpha 2, because it's the ILS protected hold points there for low vis procedures. Birmingham's great, obviously because it's a north-south runway as well, pretty much, or runway 3315, you get notorious crosswinds at the airfield. Some great YouTube videos of real aircraft like Emirates A380s coming into land there, finding it quite tricky. New Orleans, good afternoon. What are the times for Birmingham tomorrow? At 10 o'clock in the morning, UK time, to 12 o'clock. Ah, bread, that's not good. What happened? And what time tomorrow for the flight? It said, so we're not flying anywhere tomorrow. We're going to be manning the control tower at Birmingham Airport in Batson. I will use Microsoft Flight Simulator to set up a tower view, so we can basically still see aircraft taking off and landing and taxiing around and things, which would be quite cool. We might need to change our throttle settings a little bit here now, because we're burning fuel, getting lighter. Drop it back as little as possible. There we go. Good old controller sensitivities. Top descent in 160 miles. Is there anything in particular, Brad, that you were clicking at the time, or trying to work out if I could have similar problems? I do think this is such a fantastic aircraft in the sim. Hands on and needs good old careful management all the time. There goes the woofer. Oh, you need to practice your ICAO skills. Well, you're very welcome to join us and connect with us. Check your flight plans and all that sort of stuff prior to joining us, making sure that your flight plans are valid and things. If I can make it, I'll make sure to actually activate the transponder of the CRJ instead of scratching my head whilst holding on Sierra. I remember that. I didn't know it was you though. Red. Narrowed it down to be either clicking between monitors are an issue with Volanta. I hope it's not the latter. Unless it's the autosave state thing that it's doing, because I know that can cause stutters at times. How are we doing? Back in the flight deck, we're just buzzing along Mach decimal 8 at the minute. Still, that doesn't seem to have moved that much. Changed by 10 knots. I love how N1 is doing some crazy stuff. I've not changed the throttle setting, but the N1's changed itself, which is very weird. Cythera, of course you can. Yeah, you're most welcome. If you're not sure as well, Cythera, if you are one of our channel members, bronze, silver, gold, just pop it into the Discord server inside the club lounge, or the gold Concord lounge inside our Discord server for gold members, and we can try and help figure out a route for you or answer any questions you've got prior to tomorrow. Lee, you weren't the only one, that's the main thing. I mean, the whole point of tomorrow is the fact that we're trying to help people get confident on the VATSIM network, even whilst at the same time sort of helping to run an event. So people are welcome to just fly along, even if it's a Birmingham to Jersey, or something like that, a short route that you might want to do. You're more than welcome to come along. And arrivals are welcome as well. You'll be pleased to know FSLTL's coming along really nicely as well. They've just updated a load of Avianca or Avianca liveries, along with a couple of Embraers, our E190 jet liveries too, KLM and all that sort of stuff. It sounds like this is going to be quite an interesting approach for us. Wow, Bread. Volanta pins my GPU to 100% when you fiddle with it. That's insane. That's quite bad, isn't it? You're making me paranoid. I think that's half the battle, isn't it, with Crash to Desktops, trying to work it out yourself what on earth went wrong, because the sim doesn't tell you, and we're just left to sort of try and work it out ourselves and guess. It makes it doubly difficult.
Thanks as usual for the great content. Wishing I was home to join in on the fun.
David, hello! and thank you very much. That's a really generous tip again. Thanks for supporting the stream. Thanks for your kind words as well. Wish you were home to join in on the fun. Are you home tomorrow? Mind you, actually, very early for you in the States, isn't it? A 10 o'clock start tomorrow. I might, after the 2-3 hours of Birmingham controlling, I might do another stream straight after. I don't know yet. I've got quite a bit of content to sort of get through and pre-record. So it's going to be a busy day for me regardless tomorrow. Birdman, 11,000 subscribers. Wow. Getting up there, getting dizzy. Thanks everybody for subscribing and being part of the channel. Hopefully you guys love being here, flying along with us. Got to climb up to 20,000 now. What on earth was that? Top of descent, 90 or so miles. I'm just trying to work out what it's going to sort of try and require from us. So if I go to legs, Suga, at or above flight level 90. I wonder if it's focusing it on GEV mode. But it's quite a way away still. We'll leave radio as well, by the way. We'll leave on auto tune, auto and auto, because as we fly along, basically, the aircraft picks up the nearest ones and tunes them all in. Once we get a bit too close tomorrow, once we get a bit closer to Salvador, I should say, that should update with the ILS, and we'll get a lock will be tuned message at the very bottom of the CDU here. Then we'll know that we should get the correct ILS frequency input. But it is freeware scenery add-ons, and I'm not sure if it's properly configured for it. So ILS Zulu frequency is treble 1.9. So I'm going to make a note of that. 111.9, and it's a course of 102 degrees. The courses are important for those of you without the CRJ, and you can get that from the charts for the approach. 102 degrees and treble 1.9 ISA for the 3-letter code, and the course is also there next to the glide slope. Now the reason why that's important is because you need to make sure when we switch, it will become apparent when we fly the approach effectively, we're going to switch the nav source across to lock. So the aeroplane's going to focus on that ILS frequency, and we need to make sure the course that's displayed matches that of the charts. If not, we'll have to manually select it via the course 1 knob up here, effectively. And I've got to remember with this to make sure I don't idle too early, because if you do, it pushes the nose down. Similarly, if I put throttle in towards the threshold too close to touchdown, it's going to lift the nose up a little bit. Although that could be a trick to flare in really nicely, now that I think about it. David, nice. Do you know what aircraft you're flying on today? Not crosswind. Oh wow, LUTVA, we're already into the SID, into the star. So yeah, top of descent very soon. We've passed the top of descent suggested by Valanta. Trying to remember the steps as well for the approach. Lexus reset itself. That's because we have gone into time, taxi, VNav. That's set at flight level 80. And descent info. That. It's telling us already. So our current position to a Suga is going to require 1,500 foot per minute if we began our descent now to meet that in time. Down to 9,000. Birdman, interesting. No, don't know if it's a bug or not. What were the conditions that caused it to enter? Without seeing it, it's kind of hard to try and diagnose that. I know it can play up sometimes, but it depends entirely on what was happening. Whether you've suddenly had a gust of really strong headwind that's knocked a load of speed off, or we can watch that build up there. Yeah, there is that as well. We were having a little look at that earlier on actually. You press dive there, DIR, and it gives you a list of all of the waypoints and the required vertical speed to meet them. Top of descent should give us 3 degrees. So interesting to see how that works. But that's the aircraft calculating it live right now. And you can see there Suga, like so. Two degrees, 1,600 foot per minute at the moment. That'll update a bit slower than the previous screen that we were on. Big update coming soon to the fly-by-wire mod. Well, I say coming soon, hopefully it comes soon. A unique VNav sort of system with pseudo waypoints for flaps 1 and 2. Really exciting, so I'll show you guys that when that does appear. Performance-wise for approach as well. As we start to make our way down, I'll just hit settle on final approach, so we get V2, VT and VREF as well. 134 for VREF. And 139 for V approach, or V up, if I add 5. Okay, good there. That's a good tip. Those flying Jet 2 tomorrow from Birmingham, whilst we do all the ground controller stuff, or the fully staffed ATC. Your Birmingham stands for Jet 2 are 40 to 42 left, 54 to 60, 70 to 77, and 82 to 84 right. What other airlines are we going to have there tomorrow? This cloud's got quite thick now actually, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens flying through here. Top of descent in 0 minutes, but it says 48 nautical miles, so there's a little discrepancy there. Lee, yes, TCAS has been released for experimental fly-by-wire. It has indeed. That all works now. It was about last week actually when we did Athens to Mykonos and back. I think that was when we had TCAS working. The scenery that we're going to fly into today in Salvador, if you want to get your hands on that, then all you've got to do is go to flightsim.to and search SBSV, which is the 4-letter ICAO code for Salvador, and you'll see the airport option there pop up. Looks really good. What's it telling us now? 2,000 foot per minute, 2.5 degrees. Now in the CRJ900 and 1000 there is an option, it's in this aircraft too. You can turn it on and off to hide it, but you can click that once you've set 6,000, and at top of descent the aeroplane will follow the VNAV path down to give you guys a little bit of a helping hand if you like. But I like to do it myself. That top of descent screen there definitely looks a bit broken. Where's our star charts? Suga 1 Alpha, LUTVA, 102 to Pabog. Where is Pab? That's interesting. Pabog isn't on the charts. Legs. Wow. ILS10, we want a 12-mile fixed ring if we could do that, so trying to remember how to do this now. 12. That? Yes, there we go, that'll do. Lovely. Quick little fixed ring just to help us visualise that. Oh, there's the EasyJet stands as well in the live chat for tomorrow at Birmingham. Hopefully we see a lot of orange. And on the star charts, Suga 1 Alpha, at or above flight level 90, and SV003 we have to be at flight level 90. So if I target 9,000, we'll still be flight level because we're above transition still. But that's going to be a good target for us. And in fact, Suga is in 87, SV003 is coming up in 98 nautical miles. So the top of descent marker looks pretty bang on there, to be honest. Even if the calculations are a little bit skewy. And even though that's... There we go, that's fixed itself now. 9,000. Vertical speeds, arms. We have to bring the throttle back and bring that nose down. $2,600 it's telling us. Keep that throttle idled. So no auto throttle, so we're setting the throttle as we need it for descent effectively. Probably bring that speed up a little bit there. Interesting, the Mach number has refreshed itself. It's not following the star, interestingly enough. It's missed Pabog. But hey ho. Well, we're still on Unicom. Max 78. Landing elevation's already set, Lee. Up here, down we go, 60. We've done that. That's using that button up there. For those of you not sure, you have to manually set it yourself. Put wing icing on because I know we're going to go through cloud. That is all. Down here. That's all looking okay as well. Those of you flying in China, metric system, you flick that button there, that latch triggers metric mode. Well, let's find the latest METAR into Salvador. METAR SBSV. Z, winds 360 at 5 knots, all the 9s, vicinity showers, broken clouds 2000, towering cumulonimbus few at 2300, broken at 6000, temperature 25 degrees Celsius, QNH1012. Lee, no worries. Look at that. Bit of cloud there. Some cirrus cloud, I think, off the top of my head. Let's go back to 280 as a target there. Bring this in. We need to set minimums, and that is down here somewhere. What did I say the minimums were? 231. So let's hide that. MDA. .230. It's 231, so I'm going to select 240 instead. I'd rather go above than just below. There's our snowflake giving us our guidance for our descent. And actually, we could probably come to 2,500, so let's come off the vertical speed. See what happens there with the snowflake. You can see actually there's our banana, so I'm going to leave that at 2.6. Oh wait, Doofus. 2.6. I want to be level at Asugo at 9,000 feet. Flight level 9 to 0. And everything else is going to happen really quickly. Minimums are set. V speeds. Barrow 1012, so we can change that when we get a bit closer, but I'm going to change the standby instrument now. 1012. Bit of cheating, stay ahead of the game. Nav source will change when we get a bit closer, and the throttle can come back up. Lovely, clouds have decided to get pixelated again, and there's a thunderstorm. So providing you set a, let's change that throttle setting again there, providing you actually set a decent throttle setting for the descent, you should be able to just hold it in place and then not really need to touch it too much. It's like it's given us the Asuga 1 Alpha RNAV arrival via Obdud instead, which is kind of roughly where we are at the moment. Bit weird. We'll probably continue a descent down to, as long as we pass, as long as we cross Asuga above flight level 90, which, oh, it's froze. Oh, there we go. I don't like that when it does that. Which it, yeah, we're forecast to do actually. Providing we do that, continue a descent down to 4,000 at Gevmo. Cam, good question. 4.5, 5 hours I think, it depends on loads. It's a wonderful aeroplane to fly though, I love it. It's a lot more hands-on than an Airbus. So Airbus you can just take off, autopilot on, auto throttle on, which it turns itself on anyway, and then you leave it in the climb gate, don't you? Whereas this requires you to set throttle settings, power M1 settings for cruise, descent, manually control that throttle all the way through the approach as well. making lots of finite adjustments all the time. And you've got to manually set your landing elevation amongst all the other things that we've done today. I find that more rewarding in Flight Sim. You're having to learn all the little extra nuances, and the workload's a bit higher as well. So I love it. It's definitely my favourite aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator for the time being. Yeah. It's such a wonderful aeroplane to use, though. It's even for 5 hours with no auto throttle, you can quite happily just manage it all yourself anyway. I reckon I could probably idle the throttles now. Yeah, hour and a half at the moment. Let's put cowl icing on. Hour and a half cam G for our flight today. We're into our descent now. Actually, we are 67 nautical miles from the airport. Bring that speed target back now to 245. Bit of cloud surfing coming up, he says. With the CRJ, you cannot do a beer run. It's like a bullet though, it does fly quick. It flies faster than the A320. And it can cruise higher. So it cruises up to flight level 410. That's what we're flying into at the moment, all of that. I really can't wait for the 900, CRJ 900. That and the 1000 for a bit of Air Nostrum carnage as well. Yeah. We've got all the checklists as well, we can work through these, and that's all done anyway. We've already breached the approach briefing, and we're going to work through those in a short while, providing I don't forget them. And we can just leave the after landing checklists on ready as well. When we get there, there's the first bit of land underneath. Look how realistic that looks. How are we doing? Almost there. Probably, yeah. Snowflake says we are well above the profile, but I think we are almost on it. Now we're coming up to 11,000 feet, so I'm going to actually kill off the rate of descent to help the aeroplane slow down, because we are going to cross 10,000 feet and obviously we need to be below 250 knots. So that's how I'm going to do it. Careful management of speed and everything else. And it's been about, I think it is 2 months since I last flew this, so I feel like I'm chasing myself a little bit and trying to remember everything as I go. $250, 1,500 to go. Let's bring that rate of descent back up. We'll do 1,800 and just watch the speed. We're still on idle. Salvador traffic, Skyways 4944, CRJ700 at flight level 110, passing Asuga, inbound Asuga 1 Alpha, RNAV arrival, ILS 10, Salvador traffic. $240, passing Asuga now, so let's continue down to, well, let's see, let's go right down to 5,000. We'll get the scrape through the cloud there. We're literally turning through this channel here, and we can see the coast actually up ahead. Oh, look at that, towering cumulonimbus. They weren't wrong. Stuart, any idea if Aerosoft symbol traffic would be useful for that sim? You know what, I'm really not sure, to be honest. Although it's just liveries over the Asobo blobs, isn't it? So I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. Here we go, look at that for a bit of a wing view. Being flown precariously by a rather amateur pilot. 20, 40, let's bring our speed down actually, let's go to 220 now. Let's idle again. We'll do 1,800 feet per minute for that descent, and ILS Zulu runway 10 coming up. So Gevmo at 4,000, low Gav 2,500, wow. 4,000 set, we're going to go below transition now. QNH 1012 and Barrow 1012, they're both set, done. Now interestingly, I'd like to have thought that the radio would have tuned by now. Nav 1, it hasn't. Treble 19, set that, and it's reverted to manual tuning there. And what we can do, heading mode, if I stick this on heading mode now and flick over to nav source, lock 1 is blank, which suggests that we're probably out of range. We flick the nav source back anyway to FMS and we put it back on nav. We are also below 10,000, so we need those on. That's all set. Probably turn the ice cowl icing off as well. We're through a bit of rain too. Now look at this. I do love this sim. Thunderstorms off in the distance. Salvador, it's exactly up ahead, slightly on the right. Now, as much as I love being outside on the views here, I can't stay out here too long. I'm going to take a sneaky look at that towering cumulonimbus we've just buzzed through. Look at that. Rain as well, just behind us. Pretty cool. I want to get around the other side. As quick as I can. Might have to ditch it actually if we go wings level. We are wings level almost. Let's get a bit of power in. Hold 220. Altitude capture as well actually. So this is the half of the problem actually when you are trying to look at screenshots and everything else. It can trip you up and try and kill you very quickly. Salvador is probably that bit of concrete over there actually by the looks of it. Happy days.
Salvador traffic, so it's up on 3 miles per hour, runway 16 at Salvador.
It froze again. I am convinced that is either the Volanta app or Skytrack. Let's arm the thrust reversers, doing the state saving thing, because it seems to have been every sort of 5-10 minutes it's froze. Low Gav 2.5. Let's set that ready, because that's going to be the next important target. We're holding just above, hello Gridderman, just above 220 knots at the moment for that. Let's just bring that throttle back a tiny bit. There we go. Salvador coming up. That looks like a big old city there. The approach is going to be quite cool. There's Philip actually just off in the distance I think, or could be the airfield Flashy lights. We're going to cross over the runway on approach. After depart, well, missed approach then is fly runway heading 102 and climb to 4,000 feet, maintain heading of 102. Let's go, let's just reset this. Then we go heading mode because, wow. Treble 1, decimal 9er. It looks like the scenery doesn't have an ILS. Which is not good. Salvador 1165. Although it's updated 1119 there.
Salvador traffic, Southwest 5563 is cleared the runway. Taking to the jet.
Ah, there we go. Lock 1. Course 102. And on the charts, where is it? Where is it? There we go, 102. Good. So, back onto nav. In fact, let's leave it there. We're going to vector ourselves. We want to go down to 2,500. We want 180, don't we? So let's go for 180. Heading. Let's get a bit of heading switching going on here. This is what I mean when I say it's a busy aeroplane to learn. Probably come off the rate of descent slightly here. And format, let's get the ILS ready. That's all there looking green anyway, course is looking good. And over the city we go. I feel like we're going to be establishing any second. Look at that. Stunning. It's a shame this is such a busy point in the flight that we're going to potentially struggle to get any decent screenshots. We can try. If in doubt, we can just go around. T, flaps 1. We'll stick out flaps 8 as well, why not? I'm also going to now click that because I can get quicker drone cam. All about the drone camera. Power. So again, I've took my eye off the ball for just a few seconds there, and it's tried to get me. Continue down to 2,000. Do 060. In the turn. And we'll arm approach mode. There's the runway. Just above the glide slope at the moment. Performance, set all. That's the aircraft turning now. Establish. Look at that. Big train station down there, wow. I know I've not got throttle in here, so I need to get back in the flight deck. Salvador traffic, Skyways 4944, established 9 miles, runway 10, Salvador traffic. And on the glide, down we go. Gear down. All the thrusters, that's all set. I'm trying to remember all the other bits now. I think that's looking good. We've got nav mode selected. Get some of these flap settings down. We're going to go to 139. 139 is set. We are on the glide. I'm just allowing the aeroplane to slow itself down. We've gone full flaps now. Here we go. The final approach on our Salvador, on our Scenic South America tour with FlyUK. We've got some beautiful payware scenery coming up, or freeware scenery coming up, I should say. Grab my airport charts very quickly.
1,000.
Got a runway going just over here that we're going to fly directly across. We're at 1,000 feet now as well. All power because we are ever so slightly below the approach. And my controls. Slightly retrim here for approach. We'll have a look at this freeware scenery when we land as well. But hello, I'll read that in just a second.
Sync rate.
Oh, we're fine.
200. 100.
Looking ahead.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Touchdown. Bus. Green. And there goes the nose wheel. Now we've got all of the stuff out. Salvador traffic, Skyways 4944 is vacating at Foxtrot, taxi to Apron 1. Herbert says, I love short hopping this aircraft all over the US. Or as many third-party airport and land sceneries for the US as well. Good God, Microsoft Flight Simulator is pretty. I completely agree with you there. It is wonderful, isn't it? Wow, this scenery's even got solar panels. APU. In by. Off it goes. And then clicky clicky. Strobes off, landing lights off. We can disarm the thrust reversers. What else have we got? Lights as required, slats flaps as required. Radar off and transponder onto standby. Oh wow, there's another FSLTL model over there. Azul. Latin VFR van. This is that's got to definitely be Atlanta doing the state saving thing. Now look at this for a bit of freeware scenery, folks. That tower looks really cool. Off over there in the distance. There's an FSLTL A320, I think. There's it just tries to switch around to have a look without crashing because I've got to steer and move the drone camera. It doesn't like to do either. Don't let me forget Valanta's touchdown rate, folks. Even though we know that it's not accurate, it's always nice to see anyway. Get on the brakes for Juliet 3. Get rid of the flight directors and approach mode. There's another one of the ground vehicles from LUTVA's ground pack for South America. That, I think, is Bread, isn't it? It's Golf 737. There's Peter in the FlyUK CRJ. We'll park next to him, I think. Let's see. Oh, this is a good bit of scenery. I know it's in Brazil, but definitely taken the Juliet 3 by accident. Round we go. Onto Mike 2. That van's probably going to stay there the whole time as well, which is really annoying. To get that light off. We're going to have to pretend that this guy's not here. Oh, Philip, nice. Goodman, yep, freeware, flightsim.to, let's go through him. Douche. You ain't there, really. Oh, look at that. I was about to say he's disappeared, but oh, there he is. And we kill both the throttles. Both of flying on blocks. Beacon off. We can turn both boost pumps off. Kill the master cautions. Both engines are almost at 0. And we can chock the aircraft and get the doors open.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your
Kill the
way
master
to
caution,
the
master warning. Shame about that guy being in the way. He might disappear in a short while. Look at that. Let's go and quickly check this FSLTL livery for Azel. JMac just had to uninstall and reinstall because it would crash every time I tried to load the game. About halfway done. That is not good. Hold on. Is that an Embraer? It is. This is one of the new FSLTL Embraer E-Jets, I think. The E190 that they've just put into the sim. Not quite sure what he's waiting for, but it's given us the chance to spy him. Look at this. It is, little E-Jet. Again, FSLTL will be free. Oh, RIP the nose wheel. There we go, look at that. I wonder if his gear retracts, we'll see. He's off. Look at that, he's done it on purpose, he's timed it all perfectly for us. Off he goes. Shame about that wheel. Might ping that to FSLTL later. All we want to see is the gear go up. I know it does on all the other aircraft. There we go. Wow. Thomas, hello. off he goes, and we've got beacon light as well off in the distance too, so it's good to see they've got some lights working there. Look at this for a bit of freeware scenery. On the coast, beautiful part of Brazil. Got to stop Skytrack. And also check Valanta. Where have we got here? Review your flights. There's it, the 6th, isn't it? Gotta get a screenshot with everybody parked up. That's the rules. They're the rules. Bit spread apart, but that actually makes it quite good. Aviation simulations arrived in Easter Island. Look at the car park here as well. I noticed that flying in. There's the other runway, 33 and was it 15? A short, narrower runway too. I've also noticed a couple of little models littered about too, which is quite nice. Road signs. There were some other things as well I noticed on final approach. Ah yeah, over there. There's a couple of aircraft over there too, left to rot. What else have we got on this scenery? Little VOR. And sort of like, I guess, a military area. Matthew, hello! You know what? I'd not forgotten as much as I had thought. There we go, look at that for a bit of car park magic. So here's a little part of the world that I'd recommend you fly to and try at least once with the freeware. Solar panels on the roof there as well. They must have taken ages. Grinneman. You know how British Avgeek rolls, he aced it again. I found myself making a couple of mistakes throughout the flight, but as I was making them, I think I was remembering that I was having to do certain things with the CRJ, unlike other aircraft. Great to be back in it though. Forgot how fun it was to fly actually. So, but like one of the best aircraft that you could probably want in the sim at the moment. There we are, Azul's still stuck wedged in our fuselage. Insurance claim will be big with that one. Oh, that does look quite cool, doesn't it? Valanta. Let's crack on with that. There we go. A couple of screenshots that have gone on the board for that, and statistics. Minus 109 foot per minute there for the landing rate. You can see the little bit we've done for the manual vector over Salvador as well, over the city. A couple of screen grabs while we established on the ILS. There we are. 1.55G as well. I don't think it was that hard compared. Have a bit of Valanta. I'll do Flamengo, which is the beach beyond the airport. Jason, very warm welcome on board. Got to get the 900 1000 in so you'll get the full long boy experience. Yeah, I really want that to come as soon as possible actually. It's going to be quite cool. Hopefully we don't have to wait much longer for that. It's going to be difficult though when it does come. I feel like the PMDG 737 is going to drop around the same time. Marcelo, I think in MSFS it seems pretty good so far. There's some great scenery on flightsim.to. If you search for Brazil, you get little gems like this pop up. None for Brasilia though, sadly, but they've got a lot of the other airports. What I'll do as well, I'm just going to get the link very quickly for this particular piece of scenery. SBSV from flightsim.to. I'll put the link into the live chat for you all, so that if you want to get your hands on it, you can just click the link and download it. There we go. Next to that as well was a tourist points of Salvador, Bahia. So if you're flying in and you want some extra VFR scenery, that second link is a pack designed for that too, which is really cool. Does it need dependencies? I think it does. Doesn't seem like it does anyway. Apparently there's some signs. Yet to see them. I think they should be on these buildings over here. Perhaps there's some dependencies that I've missed. The custom tower itself looks quite cool. And yeah, do you need an interior? Probably not. There we are, folks. And Doug Sten, fellow FlyUK pilot, hello to you. Welcome. Fun fact, both the CRJ900 and the 1000 are longer than an A319. I did not know that. Looking forward to that. It is going to be good when it comes, and 15 or so pounds upgrade price for the CRJ900 and 1000 expansion, well worth it. If you're in FlyUK and you've not done the Scenic South America tour, then I can highly recommend it. This is the last leg, so we've ended with quite a nice bit of scenery. I can highly recommend all the Latin VFR custom RX packs as well for all custom ground vehicles that we've seen, and their Jetway Pro, which just improves all the default jetways, as you can see here that we've got. Thank you everybody that's flown along during the tour and for watching today. Tomorrow the stream starts at 10 o'clock in the morning UK time, so quite early for those of you in the US, and we're going to be staffing Birmingham Airport in the UK on the VATSIM network from 10 o'clock in the morning for 2 hours to midday as part of the Mackinac event. So do check out that before you head off and leave the channel for the day. Do have a little look at tomorrow's live stream that's scheduled. There's some links in the description as well for that too, in case you guys want to enter the Mako Simulations and Contrail giveaway tomorrow as well, which we're helping with. Thank you very much, David A, for your generous tip. Really appreciate the ongoing support from you guys. And a very warm welcome to Jason, our new subscriber today. Enjoy the rest of the day, everybody, and I hope to see you all tune in tomorrow for a bit of ATC Live for the first time in a couple of months. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.